Good morning. It is 7:45 on Tuesday, January the 4th. Hello. Hi. I haven't seen you guys since 2021. I took a nice, rejuvenating social media break during my winter break. And it was the best thing I could have done for myself. It just gave me a sense of like calm and peace that I hadn't had in a while. And honestly, I was really thinking about just taking an extended, indefinite break from social media. Not because I have overtly or extremely negative experiences, but just because, you know, it could be a lot sometimes. So I took the break. I'm feeling good about it. I think what I learned from that break is that I need to kind of reevaluate how much social media I consume in the course of a day. I don't know that that'll necessarily affect, you know, me vlogging. I think I'll vlog just as much as I have been as of lately, in terms of like vlogging what I can and being okay if I can't. But I feel good. And I think I just realized social media, there was a moment where I was like, is social media ruining my life? And obviously that's not true, because a lot of opportunities have come from my experience on YouTube and Instagram, and a lot of the financial goals I have set for myself I've been able to accomplish thanks to my activity on social media. But it can become all consuming if you don't have like control over it and you don't have boundaries. And I think I had let that get a little gray for a while. So needless to say, I feel rested. My break was great. I didn't do anything extraordinary. I did a lot of streaming on TV, a lot of nap taking, a lot of laying about. It pretty much rained all throughout winter break here in Southern California. And you know, COVID is on the move. So I really just kind of kept it quiet, kept it cute, spent time with my family obviously. But aside from that, I didn't do anything that was worth noting. So there is that. Yesterday was my first day back. I didn't vlog at all. I think I intended to, but at the same time I wanted to just kind of ease myself into the day, made sure I had myself together. And then by the time it was, I think it was like 7:30 at night before I realized I didn't even pick up the camera. So here we are, it's Tuesday. Today what we are doing is we are moving along in history. We have a good understanding of Federalists versus Anti-Federalists. We had some fun with the Bill of Rights. I was going to try and give them some kind of a quiz or a test on that, but I opted not to. I don't really give a ton of tests and quizzes in history and social studies. They have like their weekend wrap quizzes, but I don't know, like I just am not into history tests that are just chock full with dates. And I feel like the way that I've been teaching history and the type of responses they have to offer along the way in these assignments make me feel as though they are learning what I want them to learn. And ultimately, that's what I want. Ultimately, in a perfect world, that's what a test and a quiz is supposed to do, is to show you that they have learned the content the way that you want them to. So I feel like if through conversation and them explaining things in their own words, I feel satisfied and they have a firm grasp on like a historical moment or a concept, then I'm good. So no test on the Bill of Rights. So we're moving on to the Louisiana Purchase. So we're gonna talk about the Louisiana Purchase. We're just gonna really introduce it today. I found a TED video that gives a very brief, like a 4-minute overview of what the Louisiana Purchase was and why it was controversial, in the sense that Thomas Jefferson used the Constitution to make it happen, although he was highly critical of the Constitution before he decided to purchase this large piece of land. So the video goes over that. And then I found something on iCivics. I found a lot of things, but I'm just kind of pulling parts that I want to use. And it's just kind of like this 1-page sheet of information on the Louisiana Purchase. That's all we're gonna do today. Tomorrow, what I would like to do is, for the first time, try a DB quest on iCivics. I've never done these before, and now with iCivics, I know that they are available. I've just never done it, but I kind of need to go on it myself and see how it works, and I need to get the kit set up on that. So that's something I'm looking to do with it tomorrow. Someone's calling. That's something I'm looking to do tomorrow. Miss Robinson, hi. What is it? Does she have plans? Like, do I have to? I'm sure. Thank you. All right, bye. We don't have subs. So I'm losing my prep period to cover another class. We don't have subs because COVID is raging and we were already short on subs, and I don't even know if there's sub plans over there. Anywho, let me calm down from that. So I would like to do a DB quest on iCivics, and I need to test that out first. So what I need to do now is cut this conversation short, because now I need to go make copies of this right now in the next 4 minutes because I don't have a prep period. So I'll see you later. 8:19, here's an update. I got lucky and I didn't have to cover that class. I feel like that was just karma, because I really was tempted to ignore that phone call because I knew what that phone call was gonna be. But I answered it because I know if my class was missing a sub, or there was a sub shortage on a day that I was out, somebody would have to pick up the slack. So I was, trying to be a good person. So the office found someone to cover first period, which was the period that I was about to cover. It was an elective class, and honestly, what I was going to do was go in there and just tell the kids, whatever you need to work on, get on iExcel or something, because I have things that I needed to do, and grades have to be finalized today. That's the other thing, is that we're having this issue and everybody needs their prep period today, especially because our grades have to be finalized for progress reports. So good news there. But I think I was telling you what I was doing for history. I pretty much covered that. And then in language arts, I am way behind my colleagues by probably a couple of stories at this point, if not more. We are reading The Telltale Heart in my class now. We just started that. Yesterday we just listened to it. Before break, I gave them a brief introduction on who Edgar Allan Poe was, so they had a sense of like his style. We also talked about features of Gothic literature, because I found a video on that. And so yesterday, since it had been a couple of weeks, I showed them this slide that I had created that just refreshed their memory on what are the elements of Gothic literature. So I think I found this template on slides ago, so it just lets them know these are some of the things they should recognize: elements of fear and mystery, omens and curses, a dark atmosphere or setting, supernatural or paranormal activity, emotional distress, and that there should definitely be a villain present. So we just listened, there we go. We just listened to The Telltale Heart yesterday, discussed it a little bit. We didn't have a whole lot of time because yesterday was a minimum day. And then today they're gonna listen to it again, but this time we're gonna focus on the narrator and talk about the concept of having an unreliable narrator as your narrator. And I found another video from PBS Kids or something, that explains to them what an unreliable narrator is. So we're gonna watch that video and then listen to the story, this time with the intentions of kind of identifying what makes this narrator unreliable. And that's all I have planned. In leadership, I think we're going to continue to work on reading The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens, and we're kind of in the middle of getting ready for our next rally. The next rally is a rally that not every student is invited to. You have to be invited based on your academic performance in second trimester, and they want it to be like Valentine's themed. And there were 2 pitches that were given. One was just kind of a general Valentine's 90s theme, and then the other one was based on The Bachelorette, very loosely. And so they were pitched before we went to winter break. The kids voted, but the votes had to be tossed because they were not valid. We had people voting more than once. And so that made the whole thing invalid. So then we re-voted yesterday. I had to recreate the Google form, had to make them put their names down, had to make sure everything was set so they could only submit 1 vote. And based on that, they're gonna have like a Bachelorette themed rally for Valentine's Day. It'll actually occur after Valentine's Day if everything goes the way I think it will. But the challenge with this class right now is just them getting to understand that now we've got to work together, because it was a little contentious with these 2 pitches and just like little cliques in the class, and so I have to really work on combating that, because you cannot work as a unit if you're battling amongst yourselves. So I even talked to them yesterday and said, will we even have a rally? Because if we as a class can't even work collectively as a unit, as a group, and bring ourselves together as a small group, what business do we have even trying to bring the school together? Because we can't even get ourselves together. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that with dates and all that, but we may also be reading some of the 7 habits. So, but anyway, and let me get off of the vlog and do what I need to do, and I'll check in with you later. Oh, I also want to show you this outfit. This outfit, I really like it. It's comfortable. I showed it on Instagram if you want to see the full effect, but it's like a set. It's a top and a bottom. The skirt goes almost to your ankles. I got this with one of my gift cards from my student from Target, as well as these earrings. So here's a little outfit for you. But again, if you want to see the full effect, it's on Instagram. And I've been wearing my leather jacket that is back there somewhere because it is kind of cold. So it is about 4:15. I am packed up, I think, yes, and I'm ready to go home. I finalized my grades. Those were due today. Progress reports go home on Friday. And I spent a little bit of time after school, just finished up not too long ago, talking to a coworker because they had some union questions that they needed some help with, so I got that done. As far as the day and teaching, it went well. I feel good about the lessons. I really liked the Louisiana Purchase combination that I did, just the one sheet that we read and then showing them the video. And all I really asked them to do was to be able to see if they can identify the irony of how Thomas Jefferson got the Louisiana Purchase to go through, given the fact that he criticized Alexander Hamilton for doing that with the National Bank. I think I mentioned that earlier this morning. And then we read and listened to The Telltale Heart for the second time. Let me get in some daylight here. And the kids were really good about identifying reasons why the narrator was unreliable. So I'm gonna count that as a success. Let's say goodbye to Taylor. Oh, you're in the vlog. I almost broke a nail. We're just saying bye to Taylor. Where is she? There she is. I think she's still finalizing her grades. Are you almost done?
I did just finally.
She just finalized. She finalized them. Here's a close-up.
Oh God, this desk. Just this room.
Taylor describes herself as a type B teacher.
I am the epitome. I am the poster child for a type B teacher.
Because I'm looking at her calendar right now and it still says October.
And one kid was like, oh my God, 1 week until fall, right? I was like, see guys, I can't have anything calendar related in here.
Advent calendars.
No.
No.
No. Fall break countdown. It's now post-winter break. I can't.
Yeah, but we work. I'm type A.
Yeah.
She's type B, and I made her feel better. And I said, I'm partially type A because I taught elementary, and you have to be, I feel like you have to be very type A in elementary, so.
Yeah, I'm a big picture gal.
Yeah, she's
the little
the
details.
Vision. She's the visionary.
The visionary.
I'm like, but what about?
Yeah, the small details, and I'm like, no. Umbrella.
The vision.
Yeah.
The vision.
Yeah.
So I just showed you guys her. She's still alive. Mm-hmm. I'm getting ready to go home and walk Riley. He enjoyed that yesterday.
Oh, I bet. He's barking at you because he's so excited.
Yes, and then I'm going to Orange Theory. Which may be my last few times because my favorite trainer left and
we know.
slim pickings, so. All right, say bye to Taylor.
Bye.
Bye. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hello, it is about 3:30 and guess what? I am getting ready to go home soon. Just after I clean up a couple of things here, one of which is, let's see if you guys don't fall. I need to rinse out my coffee cup. The return to work in terms of COVID has been crazy. I don't remember if I mentioned yesterday, but as a school, we had like 200 kids absent on Monday, and it's been probably very similar the past couple of days. I know I have at least 5 kids absent from my homeroom class, and what's weird is this time around, like, we don't necessarily know that they're out for COVID purposes. We're assuming that, but like, we're not getting that communication from the office. And so it's just been interesting. Like, we have kids out, teachers are out, the sub shortage is just getting exacerbated because now they really can't fill spots. And I'm just taking it one day at a time, hoping that I avoid getting COVID, even though I'm vaccinated. I have an appointment to get my booster this Friday. I might have to reschedule it because I have another appointment that day as well. And I don't think I have time to do both. So we shall see. But as far as today is concerned, we started, what I decided to do is I'm going to do the document quest with iCivics, and I'm gonna take you over here so I can not have to hold this camera. And it's gonna take us a few days. I thought it was really important for me to do this. I had not done this in the previous years that I've taught this, and really I've only taught this 1 year because we did not get to the Louisiana Purchase my first year teaching middle school. What is my camera work right now? There we go. So I only got to the Louisiana Purchase last year, and all I really did was focus on what it was and how the fact that it doubled the size of the country. But I didn't necessarily tie it back into like checks and balances and how checks and balances were used for that. And this lesson on iCivics does that. So I thought it was important for me to do that because I also want to teach them about like not just the historical events of the country, but also how the government is set up, and just reiterate that we have checks and balances. So there's a total of 3 documents on this quest, and you can print out the hard copies or you can just do it all digitally. When I looked at this last night on my own, first and foremost, it is dense information and I was a little bit tired. So once I read it, I was like, this is not really something that I want them to just read off a computer screen and try and like absorb it and understand it. So I decided to actually print out the documents for them, and I'm only giving them 1 at a time. So there's a total of 3. And then on the iCivics website, they're answering specific questions where they have to identify portions of the text, the primary text that they're looking at, that they would use to answer the questions that are posed to them. And on iCivics, there's a guided mode, and then there's a free-form mode. And once we actually do this, I'll probably show you what that looks like. The guided mode is extremely guided. Like, it's gonna ask them a question and it's going to specifically highlight portions of the text that they would want to use to answer the 2 or 3 questions that they're going to be asked. So it really focuses them in on the part of the text that they need to be paying attention to, which saves a lot of time. And I definitely chose to do that because we had never done this before, but I would even say if we had done this before, I may still do it at this point because this text is very dense and it is not modified for ease of reading. Whereas with the SHEG lessons we've done from Stanford History Education Group, where they're getting sources and reading documents from historical moments, they've always been modified for us. So they've been altered so that they're much easier to read. Whereas this is not, and it is very dense and it is very wordy. So much so that before I started the lesson, I told both classes, like, I'm just gonna warn you that what we're gonna read today is gonna be very dense. It's going to feel very hard to understand. And I don't want you to hear this and think, I don't understand what is being said right here and everybody else does, because I said no one's gonna understand it with that first read. So we're gonna work through it together. So what we read together today was just the first document, and it's the letter that Thomas Jefferson writes to Congress in the hopes of getting approval to send representatives out to negotiate for the purchase of this Louisiana territory. And then it gives the transcript or the notes of how the vote went. So it really took us the entire class period just to read through this together. I did the reading. They chatted amongst themselves after me pausing in different places. And I told them, I don't want you to feel like you have to understand every single word that's being said, but I want you to see if you can get the gist of what is being said in each of the sections we read and pause at. And for the most part, they did good. There were some where they had a harder time with, and that's understandable because I had a hard time with it myself. And then I also made sure to include the glossary that they provide as a reference. So we did that. They did pretty well with it, I can't complain. And then for language arts, we read A Telltale Heart for a 3rd time, and this time specifically so that they can answer 3 out of the 8. I think there's a total of 8 first read questions on Study Sync for this story. We're just doing the first 3. And I told them, if you've been paying attention and highlighting / annotating like I told you to, we've already answered these 3 questions on this assignment So I read the questions to them, gave them access to the questions. We listened to the story again, and you know, I suggested that they be annotating for the purpose of answering these 3 questions that they were going to get. So they started that today. They didn't finish. They'll get class time tomorrow. And that's really it. And I also won a gift card. I won a gift card for having, I think at 8th grade, my class checked out the most books. So I chose the $5 In-N-Out gift card. And that is how the day has gone. So far, aside from that, school-wise, we've just decided that our next rally is going to be February the 25th. I think I mentioned already that they have a like bachelorette theme very loosely. It's because it's following the month of February. They really wanted it to be on Valentine's Day or around there, but calendar-wise we couldn't, so it'll happen after the fact, but they still want to keep that theme. And so now the fun begins of planning the next rally. So, and I don't anticipate doing dance practice every day after school for as long as we did, because I told them like that was a lot for me. So we're gonna work through that, and we are also still in the very beginning stages of reading the 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens. And that is that. So I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna go check on Taylor. I might run a couple errands, and I have to take a Peloton class. And that's it. But I'm very proud of myself for getting out of here before 4 o'clock. And hopefully I have more of these days than others. But I might check in with you when I get home. I got a package, but I don't know if it's what I think it is. But I got a couple of packages, so I might show you one way or the other. We'll see. You're either gonna see me later today or you're gonna see me tomorrow. Hello, it is about 2:50. And I am checking in right now because, oh, the sun. I have an IEP at 3 o'clock, so in a few minutes. And I don't know how long it's going to take because it's a triennial. And those sometimes can take a long time, meaning it's one that has to occur every 3 years, and they tend to be a little bit more involved than just your standard IEP, and therefore they usually take more time. So I'm not sure how long it's gonna last, and I'm supposed to go to Orange Theory at 5:30, so it is quite possible that when it's over, I'm gonna be hightailing it out of here. But I wanted to, first and foremost, COVID update. I know this is happening in districts all across the country, but it is just like out of hand in terms of the sub shortage, the number of teachers that are needing to be out for COVID reasons, the number of kids that are out, and how it's affecting just teachers in general, just real talk. Like at my school today, we had 250 kids that were absent. Several teachers are out for COVID purposes and safety precautions. And normally when there's a sub shortage and a class doesn't have a sub to cover it for a class period, it's a voluntary thing. They call you and ask, but you can say no. And now this morning we were told we are just going to be assigned. And as the union rep, as soon as I saw that email, I just knew that that was just a union issue waiting to happen. So I contacted the principal and just gave him asked him, are they tracking it to ensure that who they're asking to do this is being done in an equitable manner? And he said, yes, they do keep track of it. And then I spent pretty much my whole prep period reading our contract because I knew that there was some language in it that specifically relates to teachers' rights in relation to covering a class for a sub shortage. And then I drafted an email to send out to the staff so they knew what their rights were and what they could and could not do, for lack of a better term. So there's that. So far I'm healthy, but I do have kids coming and going at all times, and that's where we're at. So, but I did also want to show you the DB Quest on iCivics because we started that in both classes today. We're taking it as slow can be. iCivics says that you'll complete this in 1 to 2 class periods. I personally don't think it's going to happen that quickly. And so we read this one document, and so today we just did the digital portion of the assignment. And really this is designed so that you really are just doing the digital portion. So let me see if I can go backwards. I don't think that I can. I'm just going to start a new session. So this was something that I assigned. It's on the Louisiana purchase. And when you assign it to them, they'll see this screen that says DB Quest. They can continue a session they're already in or start a new session. And for the purposes of showing you, I'm going to start a new session. And I'm going to overwrite. And I gave it to them in guided mode. This is the easier version where they are really handheld through the process. And there is no hand holding there. I haven't practiced this yet or done it this way. I've only done it this way. And so they get this little assistant that kind of introduces them to what they're going to be doing, and then they can pick their assistant. And I chose this one, and I projected this on the screen and told them, but you can pick whoever you want as your assistant, but what they say to you is going to be the exact same thing that my assistant is saying to me. So I select her. Her name is Zoe. You get started. And then some more introductory statements. She tells them that there's going to be a big question that we're going to be researching and answering. And for this lesson, the question is, what role did Congress play in the Louisiana Purchase? So she gives some background information, and then you go to the first document. You cannot get to these two documents yet because you haven't answered the questions for this one. And then she's down here. So in guided mode, it's more background information there. You have the digital version of what we read, and in the guided mode, they highlight, oh wait, not this question. Let me answer this question really quickly. Congress was approving nominations. Okay. There we go. So once you get into the nitty-gritty of this activity in guided mode, they'll give you the digital form of the reading, and then they'll highlight chunks of the text that they are telling you will be used to answer some of these questions. So that just makes it easier because it just highlights and pinpoints for kids, this is what you need to be looking at as you answer these questions. And so like for example, this question is asking, what is the object or goal of approaching these men to negotiate with France? So they would select the text that is highlighted that they feel like answers that question, and then they would put it there. And once they've dropped it in a box, the text highlight turns yellow so that they know that they've already used it. And if you get it wrong and you don't have things in the right place, then your little assistant will pop up and say something like, there seems to be something wrong with the way you've answered that question, and he or she will continue to say that until you get it right. So we only did the first reading today. We got a little bit further in my homeroom than my switch, and they did pretty good with it. They seemed as engaged as one can be. And so we did that, and then in language arts, we just finished the first read assignment for A Telltale Heart. And that was pretty much the day. In leadership, we read the rest of the chapter in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, had some good conversation about that, and then tomorrow we'll spend some time planning the rally. So I'm gonna stop talking now because my IEP is starting, and if I can remember and I have the energy when I get home, I will show you what I was supposed to show you yesterday. I think I was going to show you some shoes that came in the mail just to give you some non-teaching content. So TTYL. It's 3 o'clock, you guys. It's after school. Taylor's getting her outfit together. You'll see why in a second. It's 80s day, and so I'm going to show you what she looks like. I'm going to have to pan up because I want you to get the full effect, and then she'll do the same for me. I wasn't going to check in at school at all because I don't have anything exciting to show you. They were just reading each other's stories and whatnot. So I'll probably check in when I get home after my hair appointment. But Taylor, like, she walked in with the Starbucks and she said something, and I just laughed before she could finish because even though she wasn't born during this time, she really nailed the look. Okay, so this is Taylor's 80s look.
There it is.
There it is. And I said, yeah. 80s. It's very, I said, workout glam look. Now, back in the day, Taylor, you know, youngster that she is, doesn't know, but back in the day, there were these, like, I think they were actual records. Now that I think about it, I think there were these records called Get in Shape Girls. Ooh. And it was like records for little girls. And it was like, get in shape girls. And this is what that reminds me of. Like this little warm-up jacket, some pants. She just had some earrings that just work, the side ponytail, the headband.
It's a vibe.
I'm really living for it. Okay, so she was 80s workout glam.
Yes.
She's gonna show you mine told me that I,
Oh no.
first of all, he thought I looked like a princess this morning. Like, that's what he was picking up. Then he said, you look like an 8-year-old girl that has gotten all her clothes from Target and has, I was like, well, good.
Well, then that's what
I said, then I look youthful and vivacious.
Yeah, so I'll take that. A little JoJo Siwa vibes, but.
So this is my look.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me just. So.
What did you call this? You called it
Very like Madonna-like, I was thinking.
And we were both struggling because I went home last night like I don't have any 80s thing, but then I realized when I put these things that I do
And I think
have
the earrings
together,
are very.
my kids love these.
Yeah.
I had kids telling me the earrings made the outfit.
Yeah, I
Like,
think
it
so
was
too.
that.
And the bracelet.
Also did not like the sound of these bracelets, so of course I was like, so, I'm sorry, what? My little headband, I did buy this once from Party City, and I feel very like a virgin Madonna.
Yeah.
Look.
That's the vibes that I'm getting
so that's
to.
what I'm going. I had a little glow shirt. So next week is 90s. I gotta really figure that out.
Me too.
Because I don't think I have things to put together, but
No.
we just want to show you this. It's 6:30. I'm now home. As you can see, my hair is doing something a little different. I had a hair appointment because I needed to get a cellophane. Just checking something here. I needed to get a cellophane to cover the grace. And since she was washing it and doing that, I just had her put it up in this little updo that I did in the early days of COVID, and here it is. And this is what my hair's gonna be doing for the next couple of days. So I'm really just here to end the vlog. And I was trying to remember even what my intentions were in terms of what I was gonna show you. I think I was just gonna show you that I got new bedding over break. I actually got this bedding set, most of it, over Thanksgiving break, because I bought it from Pottery Barn during a Black Friday sale. So I just kept it with the same black and white theme. So or actually I should say the duvet cover is from Pottery Barn Teen actually. And then the sheet set is from Pottery Barn, but it's like Kate Spade. And then I just added this gray blanket that I got from Amazon. And then the little pillow here is from Target, and the black pillowcases are from Amazon. Oh, and I got this little blanket here to put at the foot for nights when I am cold, but also because I wanted the bed to have some more color. And when I say color, some more black and white, because the duvet cover is pretty much all white. And then I got some shoes in the mail. These are courtesy of a gift card from a student. So I got some new booties from Macy's. These are the Lucky brand. I have booties already, but not in this particular color. So these were fun. I got these the same time I got the blanket that I just showed you on top of the bedding. And then I'm really excited about these. I got these tennis shoes from J. Crew. My mom got me a gift card from J. Crew as one of my Christmas presents. And I found some shoes, and I was excited because it's just nice to have different tennis shoes. Those are comfortable, and they have green in it, which is my house color, and I can wear those on Wednesday. So I think I really just wanted to share those things with you, because sometimes I'm like, I just want to make sure that they know that I do other things besides teaching. And I feel like when the summer comes, some people enjoy just that content because I'm not always only talking about teaching. So those are just some fun pickups from Christmas / winter break. So aside from that, I am so tired. I could literally go to bed right now. This has felt like the longest week ever. The first week back from winter break. It's been extra challenging with just sub shortages, covering classes, kids being absent. Like, we have at least 200 kids absent a day, and my school only has 1,200 students. And just knowing that this is going to be going on and on and on. So I'm really tired. So I'm about to take a shower. I'm going to treat myself to In-N-Out for dinner. I'm going to watch just some trash TV until I fall asleep, and then I'm going to bed. And tomorrow I should have some fun because I'm heading to a baby shower for Megan at Too Cool for Middle School. So that is it. Thank you to those of you that have been patient with me just taking the social media break. It was definitely something that I needed to do. I'm glad I did it. And so yeah, I'm back. I should be back on a pretty regular basis, still uploading just probably once a week and not daily, because that was a bit much. But as always, I hope that you guys are well, and if you're not well, please be well, and I will see you guys in the next vlog. If you enjoyed this vlog, also give it a thumbs up. Make sure to leave a comment. I will respond eventually. Thumbs upping and comments help keep my channel alive. So anyway, I will see you guys soon. Bye.